In the windows right there, trainer Indy. And of course, at the end of the habitat on the ledge over there, we have trainer Kevin that is riding us as well. But of course, I won't forget the whales. I'm gonna start by the older of the two. This is Aurora. She's in the back there with Kevin on the ledge. She arrived at the aquarium in 1990. And in 1995, she became the very first to conceive and give birth in a Canadian aquarium. And her daughter, she's swimming next to the windows right there. This is Keela. She was born right here in this habitat July 23rd, 1995. So we just celebrated her 20th birthday. I think we can give both the trainers and of course both of our whales a good round of applause. Despite the fact that we don't usually find these amazing belugas in our own backyards, our lives and their lives are deeply connected. If we don't hear sounds like this in the Strait of Georgia, who could tell me where in the world do we find most of these whales? You can say it out loud for me, where do we find them? I heard it, it's in the Arctic. But belugas are not the only one living up there. They're joined by walrus, polar bears, people, and puffin as well. These cute little birds that we can find up in the Arctic. The life of the people and of course the beautiful blue whales up in the Arctic is shaped by this extreme and unique environment in which they live. One of the ways that belugas have adapted to this life in the Arctic is by having quite small appendages around their body. These are the side flippers in their tail. You can have a look how small they have with Aurora right there with side flippers and Keela in the window with the tail. They're small because they don't have any blubber around them. So it helps them to limit their heat loss in the cold environments such as the Arctic. But it's not because they're small that they are not powerful. These animals have been seen swimming at speeds of 200 kilometers per hour in the ocean, which is almost 14 miles per hour. This is quite impressive. And their tails is strong enough. Have a look at this. They can do some amazing behavior. Hands up in the splash zone.
We should be careful.
That was a beautiful splash there in the splash zone. Clearly, the belugas, they have adapted to this life in the Arctic by having these small, powerful appendages. But people as well, especially Inuits who have been living up there for over 5,000 years, they have specifically adapted in the way that they will get their vitamins and nutrients. So by show of hands today, how many of you have had some fruit and veggies already? Quite a few hands. Well, for us, we just had to go to the store and grab some fruit and veggies to get these minerals. But Inuits, they don't have the same opportunity because shipments like this don't happen as often as it happens here. So they will rely on something else. This layer of fat around their body that you can see right there. This blubber has the same minerals as those we can find in fruit and veggies. So by using that layer of fat, Inuit will get these minerals. They have adapted to this life in the Arctic and belugas as well. But it is getting harder and harder every day to live in the Arctic. And this is one of the reasons why, this is one of the ways actually that we are connected to these amazing animals because of everyday choices that we make. If we decide to use gasoline or electricity, we produce carbon gas. And this gas, it gets trapped in the atmosphere. And scientists are noticing that this is having an overall warming effect on the planet. But what does this mean exactly for beluga whales up there in the Arctic? Well, we know there's a lot of ice, and under this ice there's some sea algae growing. I think you have a good hint with Aurora right there. It's all about their food, because this algae is eaten by invertebrates like crabs and shrimps and worms, who are then eaten by fish. And you can have a guess, these fish are eaten by our beautiful beluga whales. And believe me, they need a lot of these fish to live in a cold environment and to keep that thick layer of fat fat around them, it does take a lot of energy. Any loss of the sea ice will impact the entire food web from the invertebrates through the fish, through our beautiful blue whales with Keela right there, and of course the people rely on them as well. But belugas are not just found in the Arctic. I know for sure that there's another population of blue whales that lives right across Canada, next to my hometown. So that anybody here in the audience today are from Eastern Canada, like Ontario, Quebec, just like me. Yeah, I got a few people in the audience. Well, welcome to all of you. As we may not rely on belugas for food values in Quebec, we do rely on them sometimes for economic values. If you have a chance to go to Quebec, you can go on the St. Lawrence and enjoy some whale-watching cruise with locals. Out there on the river, you may not always see behavior as aggressive as what we can see here at the aquarium, just like this. But yeah, or like this with Keela over there. But you're more likely to see other parts of their body. I can tell you that this is quite impressive to see, but on the St. Lawrence, you will probably see another part of their body, but such an important part as well. You can have a little girl next to me, she's showing you her back. And if you look closely, they don't have a dorsal fin, but they have what we call a dorsal ridge. This is as unique for them as the fingerprints are for us. So help us to identify each and every individual out there in the St. Lawrence, and even in the Arctic as well. It does take a lot of practice though to be able to tell them apart, but it is a very useful tool that we can use and the scientists can use well to tell one beluga apart from another one. Although they're beautiful to see out there in the St. Lawrence if you ever have this chance, they're also facing different challenges. This is another way that we are connected to these amazing animals. Because they're living closer to us and closer to big cities, they're more likely to be infected by chemicals that ends up in the St. Lawrence. If you have a look at their body, we've seen it already throughout this presentation. This layer of blubber, this layer of fat around their body, it helps them to stay warm in a cold environment. But it also acts like a sponge. This layer of fat, I can think we're going to see it in the window right there. So when they swim in the water, when they feed in that water, it's swimming. This layer of fat can absorb all these chemicals and contain them inside their bodies. So they can really cut off from these roles in the sailors or anywhere else where the pollution is happening. This is one of the reasons why the Vancouver Aquarium recently started the Ocean Pollution Research Program to help us learn a little bit more about this issue and hopefully find a practical solution really aligned to these animals in their natural habitat. This program is led by a scientist with over 25 years of experience in this field. So we hope that by studying the two females that we have here at the aquarium, we're going to be able to find solutions for those in the St. Lawrence, but also up in the Arctic. But this program is only possible because of the trainers that we have here in the aquarium, and especially because of the relationship that they can build with their animals. We're very lucky today because we're going to have a chat with one of these trainers to help us learn a little bit more about how is it like to work with these. We also have Kevin next to me. So could you tell me a little bit more about how is it like to work with the beluga in the aquarium?
I sure can. We're giving you folks another little wave so you can see where my voice is coming from. Thanks for waving back. Now today I'm working with Aurora, and I'm very fortunate to be building a strong relationship with her. Now, of course, our #1 priority whenever we're working with the belugas is always their health care. With our incredibly strong and trusting relationships, we're able to provide them with the best possible care through voluntary medical behaviors which are known as animal husbandry. For example, right now I've asked Aurora to present to me the entire side of her body. And from a layout like this, as you can see, I can look and feel her all over, make sure that she looks nice and healthy. I can even take a look inside her mouth while I'm over here, all kinds of good stuff like that. We can also take this a step further and do some more advanced animal husbandry, like asking for a voluntary ultrasound or a voluntary blood sample, and that way we can ensure that Keela and Aurora are just as healthy on the inside as they are on the outside. And now we wouldn't be able to provide them with this top level of care without that incredibly strong and trusting relationship that we share with our belugas, and we work on that every single day. Now, of course, it's also only through this relationship that we're able to participate in those meaningful research projects that Anjali was just touching on a moment ago, and those are helping us to better understand and protect not only Keela and Aurora, but also belugas and other cetaceans which are out in the ocean. We can pass it back to you then, Anjali.
Thank you very much, Gavin, for this amazing talk. And aquarium just like this, it provides to all of us this opportunity to learn and connect with these animals. Because by show of hands, how many of you today the audience have traveled to the Arctic or to St. Lawrence and have seen these whales before in a natural habitat. There is not a lot of people, as you can see today, and I had this incredible chance of growing up with these whales literally in my own backyard, and I was able to follow them from shore every single year. And I connected with one of them especially. Her name is Slash, and she's still out there in the St. Lawrence. She just turned 41 this summer, which is quite impressive. But I was fortunate enough to follow her babies as well through the years to grow up with these whales. But I have great news for all of you, because you don't need to grow up with these whales in your backyard to feel connected to these animals and to want to help them. Because not only you can do it from here, but we can do it from wherever we're from around the world. I'm sure most of you already started some small changes in your life, like turning off your lights, unplugging electronics, but I want you to think a little bigger today, as big as the beluga size right there in the window, as you can see. Keep in mind that every purchase you have can make a big difference, as big as these animals. If you decide to buy local products, you're not only supporting this industry, but you are also reducing the carbon footprint, something that affects the Arctic right now. And if you decide to use more eco-friendly products, something as simple as using water and vinegar to clean you off the surfaces, you are reducing chemicals, pollution, and good ends up in the ocean. But most importantly, when you come here at the Vancouver Aquarium, you are supporting what we do, which is research and conservation for these amazing animals. So as we're talking right now, you're part of a much bigger project, and we hope that when you will leave the aquarium, you will have a better understanding about these animals, but also how our lives are connected. Heads up in the splash zone, it's coming with salt water right now. Sometimes this connection includes a little bit of salt water, and it's coming back in the splash zone. Be ready for that. This still is ready to go. Beautiful day out here at the Vancouver Aquarium. Once again, thank you everyone for joining us today. If you have any questions about these animals or anything else, my name is Angela.